I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that.
This one's wife. You're an afterthought. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. Everybody is an afterthought when it comes to the narcissist, because the narcissist is the most important person on the planet. No, in the known universe. The narcissist is numero uno, the grand fromage, the most important individual. The narcissist's needs are expected to be catered for. You must telepathically understand what it is that the narcissist requires and be ready to meet those needs and requirements. And if you fail to do so, then that makes you an awful human being. The narcissist comes ahead of everybody else because the narcissist has to be the most important person because they are the most important person, which means they should be treated with appropriate awe, admiration, respect, and deference. Anybody around the narcissist will always come second best. They're an afterthought to the needs of the narcissist, and this is just as applicable to the dynamic between this one's wife and Prince Harry, something which The Express has reported on through Matthew Dooley, Aditi Rain, and Paul Withers. Astonishing that it takes 3 people to write this, but there we are. The headline tells us, Prince Harry and this one's wife. Duchess takes reins as Duke becomes an afterthought. Becomes an afterthought? He's always been an afterthought. He was temporarily put in a position of seen to be first and foremost during the golden period when he was being seduced, but even then that was artificial because he was simply put in that position but was still secondary to her needs and demands. It was just less obvious then. But that soon faded, and for the last few years Harry's always been an afterthought. That's what happens when you're the victim of the narcissist. The article explains, this one's wife has taken the reins when it comes to the couple's next media move. She's always held the reins. She's always been the one that has controlled matters, with Prince Harry becoming an afterthought, it's been claimed. Royal and showbiz expert Kinsey Schofield weighed in on the timing of this one's wife and Harry's announcement of the couple's 2 new Netflix series. And if you'd like an excellent breakdown of those series, I would encourage you to watch my videos, The Prince and Polo, Cooking with the Queen, and In the Lady Garden. I just warn you not to be eating or drinking when you watch those videos, and you'll laugh until you prolapse. Anyway, back to Kinsey Schofield. As she said, I thought it was interesting timing, the way we heard about the new Netflix shows. As if once Prince William broke his silence on social media, and once we saw Prince George and Prince William out and about, looking like they were in good spirits, then the onslaught of the Sussex PR comes our way with the Deadline article. Well, that's bound to be the case, of course, because this one's wife can't stand for anybody else in the royal family to receive any attention. Speaking on Talk TV, Schofield added, I also want to mention, if you tried to share the Deadline article via their website, it did not say anything about Prince Harry in the title. It said, this one's wife, Duchess of Sussex, to launch 2 new shows. If you look at their Facebook post, when the article was originally published, it says, this one's wife, Duchess of Sussex, to release 2 new shows. Harry is an afterthought. Well, that's entirely true. He is an afterthought. He doesn't matter. In her world, he only matters to the extent to which that he caters to her needs. But to suggest that he's only just become an afterthought is wrong. I appreciate that this is being said in relation to the 2 Netflix shows to suggest that he's an afterthought, and that's correct, but it is important, for the sake of clarity, to make it abundantly clear that his status as an afterthought has been there since day one. She comes first, everybody else comes second. Whether it was her father, her half-siblings, her mother, friends, the staff that she purportedly bullied, other members of the royal family, the public, everybody comes second to this one's wife, even the man that she claims to love. When he was first seduced, she made him feel like a king. She made him feel like he was the centre of the universe, that he was the most important individual, which is part of the reason why he fell for her. This is what narcissists do. They make you feel ultra special so that you're taken in and ensnared, that your emotional thinking causes you not to realise what's going on, so you end up falling prey to the narcissist. But even at that stage when she was seducing him, he was in effect an afterthought, because he was secondary to her needs, which were to control him, to draw fuel from him, to sink her teeth into his character traits and the residual benefits. What he actually needed, what he actually required, was secondary to her needs. The afterthought then becomes all the more marked when he enters a sustained devaluation. There isn't even then the pretense of putting him first, but rather he is reminded on a near daily basis that he is secondary to her. With the doling out of malign manipulations such as silent treatment, circular conversations, belittlement, invalidation, future faking, promised gain, threatened loss, insult, whatever it might be from the wide range of manipulations that she will use against him, that demonstrates that he's an afterthought. She will make decisions in relation to projects without due regard to him. He might get told about it afterwards, perhaps even receiving a memo from her. Believe me, it wouldn't surprise me if she sends her own husband memos. That's the kind of up-your-own-arse haughty behaviours that this one's wife would engage in. She'll make decisions in relation to expenditure without regard to him, even though she'll be using his money. Because after all, lacking boundary recognition and operating with a sense of entitlement, what is his becomes hers. Dealing with him is an afterthought. Informing him of what's going on is an afterthought. Looking out for his needs and requirements is an afterthought. Harry was the prize that her narcissism propelled her to ensnare. She achieved that, and then ever since, he has come second best. Because her narcissism must ensure that she is the most important individual so that she gets her hands on those all-important prime aims. Thus, Harry, who actually is the main drawer of the two, the person that, if you want to meet anybody, it's him, not her, he's the real deal. He's a prince by blood. She's a duchess by marrying in. She's a low-rent, mediocre, D-list actress with a rather murky history in relation to yacht activities and so forth. He is the blue blood. She isn't. But yet, he has become relegated to afterthought because, like any involvement with the narcissist, you are always secondary to the requirements of that particular narcissist. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.